Cheryl McDermott here, Administrator, MVRG Training Center, and Designated Broker of Mountain View Realty Group. And today we're going to be talking about prospecting. So especially the target right now is for newer agents or agents that have started off and maybe they had a couple friends, but the deals have closed and we're not really sure where to go from here. And I've also found that even agents that have been in the business a while and they have a pretty good pipeline, they're allowing just the referrals. So let's say I was with Coldwell Banker for a while. We did receive relocation referrals. So those relocation referrals would turn into more referrals. So that's always a great avenue, and you become kind of reliant upon that. But to grow your business, you have to do more prospecting. You have to get in front of more people. So let's talk about prospecting for a second. Newer agents sometimes have no idea, and even tenured agents, no idea where to start, what type of prospecting activities. So let's start from the beginning. First off, we have to have a goal. What is your goal? Where do you want to be? What drives you? What is your why? When we think about this, why are we in the business? Is it to help people? We want to help people. Obviously, we need to get paid for this. So is it a money thing? Do we have to be able to pay our mortgage? Do we want to be more than that? Do we want to be able to take our kids on a vacation? What is our why? And there'll be a few whys, hopefully. There'll be more than one why. So you figure out your why, and then you figure out your goal. And this will be your high-level, big-picture goal. Where do I see myself? Where do I want to be in a year? Now, those activities to get there, especially if we're newer agents or we're a little bit stagnant right now, those activities are going to vary, and as they should. You should not rely on one activity to make your business successful. You're going to have to rely on many different activities, and we need to track those activities and see what's working for us and see what's really paying off. So we're going to talk about a couple. We're going to talk about passive prospecting. Now, what I consider passive prospecting is very common with newer agents. I believe that there's absolutely a place for it, and if you follow my Facebook page, you know that I believe in some passive marketing. And I believe in it because I believe it's more of a branding tool. We want to brand ourselves as the experts in the area, which most of us are. So we want to brand ourselves. We want to get that reputation out there. We want to get it out to lots and lots of people. But this is really passive, and I'll tell you what those are, because we aren't getting direct and immediate results from these efforts. These are long-term results that we may not see for a little while. So examples of passive: social media campaigns, social media marketing. Another passive would be your internet marketing, networking groups. Your networking groups, unless it's like a BNI that you get referrals right away. I belong to a networking group that it's all about connections and meeting people. Does this pay off right away? Absolutely not. However, it is necessary and important and should absolutely be in your plan and in your activities, your monthly activities. Decide how many of those you're going to do. You need to get the word out. And yes, these do lead to appointments. It's just not immediate. So then we have more aggressive marketing or prospecting, right? What would we consider aggressive marketing or prospecting? Well, many of us know these, but we're not as comfortable with them. So my very favorite is door knocking. And I have a success story for you. Actually, just last week, I think it was last week. Yeah, just last week, one of the brokers in our office, had been door knocking a specific neighborhood. And from that door knocking, we went on a listing appointment. She's a newer broker and asked for that support. And thank goodness she did, because surprise, this house for the area is absolutely magnificent. But that contact was directly from door knocking. Now that contact led to the appointment, which is now leading to 2 listings. So this is what I would call aggressive prospecting, and absolutely necessary, and needs to be primary focus on your daily, weekly, and monthly agenda and plan. So another aggressive would be calling expireds, calling FSBOs. Going back for 1 second to door knocking, let's talk about some reasons why we could door knock or why we could even call. We can use those very similarly. They're intertwined. So what are some reasons why we would want to go knock on somebody's door? I don't know, but I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Make Me Move feature on Zillow. Why wouldn't we go and talk to them? Hey, let's talk to those guys. We already know they want to sell, so that's easy. It's an easy prospect, right? Go talk to them. Another reason why we would want to door knock is maybe we're new. Maybe we want to introduce ourselves. That's a great reason to door knock. My favorite, leveraging your listing. You may see that on another one of my YouTube videos, or you may hear it on our podcast. So leveraging your listing. What about leveraging your listing? We know that many people have friends and family that they would like to live near them. So why wouldn't we let the neighbors know that we have a new listing? Of course we want to let them know. I know myself, mailers are, again, passive marketing, which I forgot to mention. When we mail something, I believe that that's passive. It's branding. It gets people aware of us, and I'm not saying that it's bad. I think it should be a part of our routine. However, I know when I was starting out in real estate, I didn't have the money for a bunch of mailers. And if you don't either, go knock on the door. Go knock on the door. And introduce yourself, leverage your listing, Let them know that the listing is now going to be is active. In some states, you're allowed to pre-market. In Washington State, if you're with the Northwest MLS, you are not allowed to pre-market. Therefore, what we want to do is the second it goes live, have your flyers ready and go knock on doors and let the neighborhood know that, hey, guess what? We're going live. Here's your neighbor's property and it's for sale for this much. And when the status changes, we want to let them know that as well. When we're holding an open house, we want to let them know that as well. So now we're becoming very known in this community. And I have to tell you that on the phone, I have been rejected. And in person, I hardly get rejected. When I knock on doors, I hardly get rejected. I know that does not help with the anxiety of doing it. But I'll tell you, once you get in the flow, it gets easier and easier and easier. Expired listings, make sure you check and make sure they're not relisted. But expired listings are a great form. We already know they want to sell. This is a great form of prospecting. Get out there. A lot of people are making phone calls, but why don't we stop by? I mean, if you're more comfortable on the phone, then plan that and do your phone. It's what you're comfortable with. But remember that we're not going to get to the next level until we reach outside of our comfort zone. So we have to reach way outside of our comfort zone and try things that we think are extremely scary. And I'll have to tell you, when I first started door knocking, I thought it was hard. It was really hard. As you do it, and as you continue to do it, as you do an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and you get a ton of results, it makes it way easier. And realize that rejection isn't the end of the world. It's just simply, it's all a numbers game. So what happens is, okay, so you got rejected, or maybe they just took your information, said, okay, thanks, bye, I'm not interested. They still took your information typically. They typically take your information. But that's one person closer to getting the appointment. That's one person closer to getting the appointment. Keep your mindset straight. Make sure that you are talking to those expireds. Make sure you're talking to for sale by owners, your FSBOs. These are all aggressive marketing tactics, and they need to be intertwined with our passive. So when you're planning your day, make sure that you are including both passive and aggressive. And please see the other video on Are You Living Your Life Intentionally? Because that video will go over how to plan your day to reach your ultimate goal, where you are going to be in a year. So see that planner and then incorporate your passive prospecting and your aggressive prospecting daily, and you're going to see the results. You're going to see the results immediately. Hey, thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. You can reach me directly at mvrgtrainingcenter@gmail.com. Again, mvrgtrainingcenter@gmail.com. Have a great day.